Hello class, welcome back to another video on our grammar module. Today we will move on with our unit on reported speech, and we are going to discuss first how to report questions and also how to report commands. Questions. In order to report a question, first we need to take into account whether it is a yes-no question or a WH question. In case you have a yes-no question, the words if or whether must be included. For example, are you coming? He asked. He asked whether I was coming. As you have just seen, the question mark and the inverted commas have disappeared, and the auxiliary verb and the main verb are now together. Reported questions take the form of a statement. Look, did she phone? She asked. She asked if she had phone. If you have a WH question, the question word or WH word has to be maintained. For example, where do you live? He asked where I lived. As well as in the previous case, note that reported speech has a form of a statement. And please, do not forget to respect the rules for backshift in verb tenses carefully. For example, where are you going? She asked. She asked where I was going. Moving on with commands, in order to report a command, we need to use the following verbs: order, command, forbid, or tell. The pattern for reporting a command is the following: the reporting verb plus the person plus the infinitive. In case you are trying to use a personal pronoun as a person, remember that it needs to go in the object form, because the object or the person is going to become the indirect object in the statement. Have a look at the following examples. Go away, he said. He told us to go away. Help him, she said. She commanded me to help him. Don't worry, they said. They ordered people not to worry. At this point, we need to make some clarifications. Number one, we cannot use say to report a command. In reported speech, if you report a command, you need to use only the verbs that I have given. B, in negatives, not goes before the to infinitive. For example, as you have seen previously, they ordered people not to worry. And finally, C, have a look at the following example. It is prohibited to enter here, the doctor said. The doctor forbade us to enter there. Forbid is always followed by a verb in the affirmative or in the positive form. Take that into consideration, please. Paréntesis en castellano aquí. Recuerden por favor, como dije en el video, que en el caso de tener reported speech, en direct speech puedo utilizar say, pero si voy a reportarlo no puedo utilizarlo. Tengo que utilizar sí o sí cualquiera de los verbos que les di: order, command, forbid o tell si fuera necesario. Moving on, we are going to cover reporting verbs. Finally, it is also important to take into account that there are also specific verbs which purely indicate the function of original speech. For example, if I say, I am sorry for what I did, this person is offering an apology. Reported statements should look like this: he apologized for what he had done. You should stop smoking. This person is giving a piece of advice. Then I should report it in the following way: he advised me to stop smoking. Take my word, I won't tell anybody. This person is promising something. Then I need to use he promised he would not tell anybody. Having said this, in the following activities for the course, you will not be using general say and tell, but these specific reporting verbs. It is important that you look up in your dictionary for the meaning of each of the verbs that you are going to be introduced. We are going to focus our attention on 4 main patterns and the verbs that you can find in each of them. So please listen to them carefully and check them in the dictionary, as I said before. You can have verbs followed by the to infinitive, such as agree, refuse, threaten, offer, promise, swear, beg, propose, or volunteer, as examples that you can see. We can also have verbs followed by the person and the to infinitive. For example, advise, convince, encourage, invite, persuade, remind, warn, allow, challenge, request, and urge, as examples that you can see below. We can also have verbs followed by the gerund. For example, apologize to somebody for, insist on, accuse somebody of, recommend, admit, regret, blame somebody for, suggest, deny, congratulate somebody on, thank somebody for, as examples that you can see below. And finally, some verbs can be followed by a that clause. Some verbs such as agree, admit, deny, promise, regret, accept, or confess can be followed by a that clause, and they are still correct. As previously mentioned, please remember that in case you are reporting something in the negative, you need to use not before the to infinitive or before the gerund. Now, suppose that you are given the following task. You need to report this dialogue using only the specific reporting verbs. First, you need to discover the functions and then choose the appropriate reporting verb. Some of the possible answers for this exercise may be: the teacher apologized to the student for not believing in her story. The student refused to accept the apologies. The student insisted on seeing the principal. The teacher advised the student not to see the principal to avoid problems. The student agreed that the teacher was right. The student warned him that the next time he mistreated her, she would talk with the principal. The teacher promised the student he would not repeat his behavior. Please at this point also remember that the rules of backshift must be respected for verb tenses and also for the modal verbs that you find. Okay, so again, please remember to pay attention to only the groups and the verbs that I have mentioned as regards to reporting verbs, and also to discover or to look up in a dictionary for the meaning of the reporting verbs, so that you can distinguish in the exercises the functions that you are being given. This has been everything for today. I hope this topic is clear. We are going to keep on working on comprehension exercises, so wait for the reading section and please solve the exercises, and if there are any questions, let me know via private message or in a forum. Thank you.